What's up and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking about 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. This is season 3, episode 3, and the title of this episode is Little Lies. Starting off with Avery. So Avery tells her mom that she's not going to tell her what to do and just wants her mom to board this flight. Despite losing her phone, she could care less about the phone. She wants to board this flight so she doesn't miss it and doesn't miss this opportunity to meet Omar. Avery still hasn't told her mom that after Omar and her get married, they plan to live in Syria until his visa is approved. 24 hours earlier, they introduce us to Omar. He says that he is a dentist, and he talks about how Syria was such a beautiful place before the war began. He is excited to meet Avery, his soulmate, so he calls her. And I just feel like something is off and there's still so much we don't know about him. You know, he's worried he won't like Avery in person. He talks a little bit about her past and how he doesn't like to hear it, how he doesn't like it. And I don't know, I'm just getting a little vibe from him. So you guys comment down below and let me know what you think about Omar so far. Moving on to Darcey. So Darcey and these flirty facial expressions has me weak. Y'all, I'm telling you, Darcey just thinks she's got it going on, okay? And I'm just so sick of her right now. So Darcey lands and picks up her luggage. A driver is waiting to take her to meet Tom, and she tells the driver that she needs to change. This woman takes 45 minutes. This man was waiting on her. She was in the bathroom, washing up, putting lotion on, trying to pick out an outfit. My thing is, if you knew you planned to change once you got there and freshen up, why not already know what you're going to wear? She's in the bathroom with her luggage wide open, trying to figure out what she's going to wear, and it was just a mess. So while on the way to meet Tom, she brings up Jessie once again. This woman is an emotional wreck. She is an emotional mess, and it's really sad to watch. Let's move on to Angela. So Angela goes back to Nigeria in 1 week. Angela's hoping once she gets back, it will help her know if marrying Michael is a good decision. Angela goes to see her attorney, and the attorney makes sure to educate her about the process of the K1 visa and what she would be responsible for if it doesn't work out. Let's move on to Rebecca and Zied. So Rebecca has an issue, okay? Zied has her renting a car for the next 3 weeks, and this dude doesn't have much driving experience. So that's why Rebecca had to be the one to do all of this driving, do all of the driving while she's there. Rebecca is riding streets that she's unfamiliar in and already has road rage. As they pull up to the hotel before entering, the man at the gate has this long mirror, and he's searching the car with this mirror, and this really freaks Rebecca out, and she's like, what in the world is he doing? Why is he doing that? And Zied tells Rebecca it's for security purposes. Once they get to the room, Rebecca gifts Zied, and he's definitely ready to receive these gifts, okay? He couldn't snatch them from her hands fast enough. Can we talk about how Zied, though, called Rebecca a grandmother? Y'all, I'm telling you, I wanted to fall out. These castmates always have me weak because I'm like, the things that they say out of their mouth behind each other's backs is hilarious. Let's move on to Benjamin. So we're introduced to a new couple, Benjamin, who is 33 years old from Phoenix, Arizona. He's a project support specialist for an energy company, and he really he makes sure to highlight all his qualities, you know, saying that he's upbeat and almost to a fault loyal. He cracked me up with, you know, the cheesy, you know, I'll love you. I'll just love you. And he carries on that he is very active in church and is studying to become an ordained minister. But majority of his time is spent with his 5-year-old son. So Benjamin and his ex-wife have 50-50 custody of their son, and they had trust issues That's why they didn't work out. His ex-wife is the one who filed, which makes me curious to know if he was unfaithful. Was she unfaithful and wanted to be with someone else? Benjamin said that his last relationship left him heartbroken and took all of his money. He now turns to dating apps and says that he always dealt with no-shows. He finally met Akinyi, but Akinyi lives in Kenya, and he says when he saw her on video chat, he knew she was the one. Now, when he FaceTimes her, and as she starts talking, I'm thinking, nah, her family is scamming this dude. They're all in on it and trying to marry her off for a price. So she talks like she's like 11 years old, if not younger, very immature, doesn't even really seem like a mature woman. And when Benjamin goes to Kenya, he will be meeting her family as well. Akinyi makes sure to let him know that there's a bride price, and when he gets there, they'll fill him in. Now, why they can't let this man know before he comes, because they don't even know if he has the money for this bride price. It seemed to me when she had talked about the bride price, it seemed like he had never heard that. Like it was the very first time of him hearing that information. Let's move on to Caesar. So while looking at Caesar's refrigerator, I spy a photo of him kissing a little girl, and it said on there, daddy's girl. So Caesar is a father. In the next scene, Caesar's best friend comes over and he tells her that Maria still hasn't booked her flight. His friend says that she doesn't understand why she hasn't booked the flight yet and has had the money for quite some time. She says that she doesn't believe Maria will show up, which none of us do. He shows her the $200 ring that he bought, and he's talking about, look at all that bling. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, really? Like, I feel so bad for this dude. Like, I feel bad for him, but then I don't feel bad for him, but I feel bad for him, if that makes any sense. So if Maria doesn't show up, Caesar says that he's going to be devastated. Let's move on to Avery. So Avery has arrived in Lebanon and is very nervous to meet Omar. Omar, on the other hand, is nervous and excited to meet Avery. Avery and Omar finally meet. So we're just going to fast forward. And he says that it's his first time holding a girl's hand. I don't know if I believe that. Comment down below, and if you guys believe that he's never held a girl's hand, never kissed her, never hugged her. I just really don't believe that whole little story that he's given. So Omar says that he's worried about having conflict with Avery's mom, and Avery is worried that her mom is going to disrespect the culture while in Lebanon. Omar's facial expressions tells me that there's another side to him, and he seemed very serious, and I don't know if maybe it was nerves. You guys comment down below. I don't really know much about his culture, but if any of you know much about the culture, being Muslim, let's just all kind of have a little conversation down below about Omar and your thoughts about him. Do you guys believe the whole story about him? He's never held a hand of a woman. He's never kissed her. He's never touched her. Do you believe this? Let's move on to Angela. So after work, Angela talks to her coworker. She comes out of work, she's storming out, and I'm just trying to figure out, in her profession, why does Angela have flip-flops on? Okay. So she comes out and she tells the coworker that she's not having a good day. Angela is mad at Michael because Michael went out on his birthday after he said that he was going to wait till she got there so they could celebrate together. She contradicts herself, saying that, does she look like she's desperate for a man by working double shifts, taking care of her family, and then adding Michael to the mix? Yes, Elder, you are desperate. Michael is young, okay? And she can't expect him to act like he's her age. Michael's voicemail, though, was hilarious, okay? It was like a kid leaving a voice message for his grandmother, or like for your parent. You're in trouble when you're young, you're in trouble, so you're calling to explain everything that happened and why it happened over the voicemail. So let's move on to Darcey. 24 hours earlier, they introduced Tom, okay? 24 hours prior to Darcey arriving. Already, Tom is coming off as a ladies' man, a player, bachelor, womanizer, sister, and the list goes on. So Tom has been sending Darcey photos of him back when he was in his 20s, okay? So look, Rebecca, you're not alone, okay? You're not the only one catfishing people. Tom out here catfishing, sending photos back from when he was 20 years old, and it's just hilarious. I'm telling you, like, I'm really loving this season so far. So Tom says that he does want to give things with Darcey a chance and doesn't want to treat Darcey the way that he's treated other women. When he tells his sister about Darcey, she's not so sure if he can walk away from his bachelor lifestyle. So Tom wants to see where things go. But Darcey, I feel like she sees their relationship differently. She's already hopeful for a ring. Even she's saying, oh, I've known him for 4 years and we've talked for all this time. And she's already just going full throttle, okay? She's ready for the ring. But Tom is basically trying to tread. And I think that you have to make it clear when you're entering a relationship so that folks don't take things the wrong way. You know, you could tell that Darcey's all the way in there. She's already talking about marriage with someone she never even met. Him, on the other hand, he's trying to decide if he's ready to leave his bachelor ways in the past. You guys comment down below your thoughts on Tom so far. Let's move on to Rebecca and Zied. So Rebecca and Zied were intimate, which we knew that was going to happen because that's all she talked about. But she failed to tell him that she's still married. That should have been the first thing out of her mouth. Even before she even got there, she should have told that man. So Catfish and Dracula go out to enjoy their day, plus talk. And Zied says that he doesn't want Rebecca talking about her ex to him. He gets very jealous, okay? But I guess it's okay for him to talk about his because he mentioned his ex and it was no problem. So we can't talk about your past because I think that's important too, to know why certain things didn't work out. Hey, I mean, it's nothing wrong when you're getting to know a person to want to know certain things. So she should have already told this kid that, you know, she's married. She's way in Tunisia and doesn't know this man's triggers. You know, she's putting herself in possible danger. I think hate is a very strong word, and Zied used that word when he talked about his ex. Let's move on to Benjamin. So Benjamin goes to his credit union and tells them that he's going to Kenya in 1 week and wants to make sure that his card will work. He plans to be there a little over 2 weeks. Benjamin is living paycheck to paycheck and only has $2,000 in the bank, and $1,000 of that is for his trip expenses. In the next scene, he invites his friend Desiree over to help him pack. When his friend begins to share her concerns and worries, the look on his face was like, if you don't shut up and mind your business. That was the look on his face. He seemed very irritated, he wasn't interested. He didn't want to hear it. And he says that his son is his greatest concern, but he hasn't really thought things through. Another desperate soul added to the list. Moving on to Angela. So Angela says that it's not that Michael went out on his birthday, it's that she couldn't get a hold of him. Angela FaceTimes with Michael and wastes no time fussing him out. You know, she makes sure to bring up time that Michael did the BJ. And Angela loves holding over Michael's head that she's not going to bring him to America if he doesn't change. Michael just sits there and lets her fuss him out. And then he says, I love you so much. I love you so much, baby. And then he gives her this kissy face. Like, Michael looks tired, drained. He already knows this is how Angela operates. So their little relationship is a mess. Let's go back to Avery. So Avery says that she has urges to kiss Omar and that he's kissable. Once they get back to the room, she says that she's happy to be there and says after they get married, she plans to go back home to apply for his visa. Let's go back to Darcey. So Tom waits for Darcey to show and says that he's super nervous. Darcey says that she feels like she's making the right decision this time. When Tom tells Darcey that she looks better than her photo, now she finally arrives, okay? And she's like, wow, you know, stroking her hair. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. So I'm finally here and all that. He tells her that she looks better than her photos, and Darcey responds, you have a nice smile. That is a way of somebody telling you that you're not cute. If you just like bypass everything, compliment, oh, I love your glasses, or you look nice, your clothes is nice, or I like your shoes, or if you say I like your smile, that means you don't really think they're that attractive. Oh my God, y'all, I'm telling you. That was so funny. So Darcey said that he looked a lot different from the photos. So Tom says, am I what you were expecting? And Darcey lies to him. You guys. Oh my goodness. Just thinking back on it, I want to just keep laughing. It's just funny to me. So Tom books Darcey an Airbnb, right? And Darcey is laying it on thick, okay? She wants Tom to come back to the Airbnb with her. And Tom definitely picked the wrong woman to settle down with. If he was thinking about changing his ways, this is the wrong woman for him. Because Darcey isn't looking for a gentleman. As a woman, I would really appreciate this man's approach. The fact that he rented her an Airbnb to herself privately and says, you can then invite me up if you want. It is your choice, giving you the option. He's not forcing his way. He's not expecting to get something from her. This is a gentleman. In my opinion, this approach is very gentlemanlike. And Darcey is trying to go from 0 to 100. She doesn't want to take her time and enjoy the process and get to know this man and do things the right way. She's not being a great example. Her kids are going to be able to look back on this show and see how thirsty their mama is. And it's sad. It just shows how desperate she is and why her relationships aren't working out. You have to make a man work for it. Like, comment down below, ladies, if you agree with what I'm saying. You got to make a man work for it. You can't be so easy. Like, you're just like all the other girls that he could easily get to. There's nothing different about you setting you apart. When she showed up to the place, I feel like she could have been a little more classy in her dress. Like, you should be able to see by his Instagram or, how he is, the type of man he is. Like, come on, girl, be classy. And those boots, them thigh-high boots with, your chest exposed with the blazer, it was all right. But I just feel like she could have been more on the classy side. Like, you talked about, you changed. She should be a little bit different this time around. But hey, to each his own. You do you, Darcey. If you want to continue to be single year after year after year, but a shift needs to take place. If you want to attract the right type of man, you have to be a reflection of what you want to attract. Let's move on to Caesar. So Maria still hasn't booked this ticket, okay? And it's the day before the trip. When she texts Caesar, she says that she needs more money and needs to get her hair done and her teeth done, and she needs cosmetics, all this makeup and different things like that. So she's playing this dude like a fiddle. And while Caesar is doing a pedicure, he tells his client that Maria wants more money and that she now doesn't know if she can make it because her mom's birthday is on those same dates. Like, are you kidding me? Caesar hasn't paid his rent, light, or water bill. Instead, he uses that money that's supposed to go on bills to buy Maria a ticket, telling her that she can just pocket that $2,000 to get the items that she needs. And she just responds, okay. Dry, period. Okay. This girl already spent that $2,000. I'm sure of it. He should see that she's trying to pull out of this trip. I don't think that she's gonna show. So I need to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. This was a great episode. Season 3, episode 3. The title was Little Lies. This is 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Continue to share these videos with a friend who also loves watching 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified on the next time that I make an upload. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.